Hello everyone and welcome back to my next video. Today we are going to be reviewing chapter 1039 of One Piece titled The Main Attraction. This chapter starts off with Momo. He's, still pushing Onigashima, trying to prevent it from going towards the Flower Capital. But most of the chapter is actually spent on the Law and Kid versus Big Mom fight, which I actually didn't expect. I thought that, once, we saw some Law and Kid versus Big Mom, now let's go towards another faction. Let's maybe go towards Luffy versus Kaido. Or maybe, whoever, right? But we actually do see a lot of major events happening in this chapter involving that fight. This takes place right after the last chapter, so, they adjusted their attack. Big Mom's still taking a little bit of time to recover. And it's really funny because Law and Kid, they're, arguing like an old couple. Law's really mad about the fact that Kid took all the spotlight from that last attack, which before Wano was something we wouldn't really expect from Law, but he's actually had a couple of moments like that where, he's telling people not to boss him around or tell him what to do, or, like in Ruth Peace chapter, I think it was I don't remember what chapter it was, but it was in the thousands, 105 or 1005 to 1010, somewhere in that span. Law is complaining to Zoro about something. I don't really remember it clearly, but I love this new aspect of Law. I think it's really funny, and the fact that they're literally arguing while battling an emperor is bro. He even mocks Kid's attack, oh, what comes after a bull, huh? A hippo, an elephant. Just basically making fun of the fact that he just did a bull attack, which, even though that attack was really cool, so I don't know what Law's talking about. But the shockwaves that Law did against Big Mom did some really good damage. It broke her ribs. But, she did end up healing it by eating her lifespan, which might be the end of her. She might, just continuously eat her lifespan, and that'll be how she gets defeated, to the point where, she eats her own life away. I think that would be a pretty cool ending. But after that, we get to the thing that I was talking about before. Law says that his next attack would be his last. He says, hold on, let me pull this up. In all seriousness, I need to tell you something. I'll be out of strength after this round. My next attack will be my last. I can't afford to let it miss. So he does end up firing that attack. He does a really cool attack. I think it's called a Puncture Willy, where basically he stabs Big Mom, and it just increases the length of his sword all the way until it goes beyond Onigashima into the ground, all the way up. All the way from Onigashima down until it makes contact with the ground. It even goes we see Momo going oh, what is that? And we see it going through the what's called armory, and Yamato seeing it, and that's just so cool. And that shockwave, that must be that's probably the strongest attack Law has ever done, ever. I mean, I don't know if that's something, if this is something that Law has been able to do this entire time, or it's just something that he was able to do in the heat of the battle. But of course, we can't forget about Kid too. He also was great this chapter. I do like magnetic powers. I'm not the biggest Kid fan, but I do really like magnetic abilities in anime, even though we rarely get to see them. But yeah, he does his assign thing where he makes Big Mom, I think he makes Big Mom the North Pole and then something else the South Pole, or the other way around. And he basically attracts Big Mom to this big wall or pole or something, I don't know. And Big Mom, she breaks it apart, or she doesn't break it apart, she rips it off and then turns around and uses it as a shield from Kid's attack, which is honestly so crazy. Big Mom, here's the thing, alright? Big Mom has taken a lot of damage in this fight. She's gone hit a bunch of times. So it's kind of is she really living up to the legacy of an emperor? But she's tanking these attacks. These attacks are probably super strong. This, I don't, okay. Can I say this? I think Kid's attack that he just did against Big Mom could have very possibly maybe one-shot Doflamingo, which is crazy to think about. Hold on. That's and I do think a direct hit like that against if Law incapacitate Doflamingo by using that awakened sword, whatever, and Kid just went full on against Doflamingo, I think that would be they would have easily defeated Doflamingo, which is crazy that Law didn't awaken against him. But of course, this is most likely Law has been awakened, but most likely it's happened during the time skip from the beginning of Wano to now, because Luffy's done a lot of training, so assumedly Law has also done a lot of training. So I think that does make sense. But another quote I really like is from Big Mom. She says, "I've sent hundreds like you to a watery grave. We've ruled for decades now, since the time you two were still drinking your mother's milk." Which I think that's a really cool quote, and it even adds more to the whole like make way for the new generation. You know, Law, Kid, like the new generation is gonna rise up and dethrone the previous emperors. You know, they're fighting for it. It really just makes it seem like not just a battle between the characters, but a battle between the old and new generation. It's a generational clash. Whoever wins will decide who remains the supreme. You know, will it be the way it's always been, or will a new path emerge from all this? And on that note, Law even says at the end of the chapter, after they successfully attack Big Mom, he goes, "Your era is over," which is such a cool line. And even like the Shonen Jump like little text thing at the end of the chapter says, "Dragging the emperors off their thrones," which I also think is so cool. That's probably what's going to be the title if it's not too long. If it's too long, then I might do like "Your era is over" or something. I recently like to take lines or attacks from the chapter and put it in the title, but I never want to do anything that would spoil it. So I mean, the last chapter I did the name of Kid's ability, but I don't think it's that really big a spoiler just to know the name of the ability. And plus, people probably who are anime only probably wouldn't even know what I was talking about. But yeah, I mean, so this chapter was really good. I really enjoyed it. But there's always the question, is this the end of Big Mom? And I truly don't know. I have no idea. Before, I was confident that she would live, and like she would, like Kid-in-Law would just try to get her to stop going to the roof. But now they seem like all in. Like they're still trying to kill her. And I still think that Luffy's going to defeat Big Mom. I just don't see the way where it'll make sense for Big Mom to live. Because like this is very clearly a battle between them. The only thing I can think of is after this attack, Law and Kid are just done. Like they think they defeated Big Mom, and they're like on the floor. And then Big Mom, later on like gets up, like, oh, she's still alive. She's been defeated, but she's alive. And she leaves Wano. And then Luffy defeats her in some other place. Because the fact that Luffy said he was going to defeat Big Mom, that's huge. That's something that we really need to, just think about. Because if Luffy's going to defeat someone, or says he's going to defeat someone, it would not make sense for Luffy to not defeat that person. So I think Luffy's still going to defeat Big Mom, like Elbaf or something. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this chapter. Overall, really good. I don't know what we're going to see next. Hopefully, we'll see. A lot of the plot points are kind of closed off. I want to see more from Zoro. I really want to know what's up with him. Brook and Robin, CP0. CP0 versus Izo, actually. I want to see that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.